We're going to be studying point-slope form. An equation of a line can be written in point-slope form when given the coordinates of one known point on a line and the slope of that line. But let's review here for a second. So far we've had the standard form for the equation of a line, and that was ax plus by equals c. And then we've had the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line, and that was y equals mx plus b. And in the slope-intercept you needed to have the slope and you needed to have the y-intercept. Well, for the point-slope form that you're going to be doing now, you need to have one known point, you need an x and a y, and then you need to know the slope. Those are the two things you're going to need to know. So the point-slope form of an equation of a line is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Let's see what that means. Write an equation in point-slope form for the line that passes through 3, -2 with a slope of 1/4. Remember that it's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Alright, so this is the way it goes. You put y minus -2 equals slope 1/4 times x minus 3. And then we simplify it to be y plus 2 is equal to 1/4 times x minus 3. And you've done the job. It's y plus 2 equals 1/4 times x minus 3. That is the point slope form for the line that passes through that point with that slope. Your turn. Write an equation in the point slope form for the line that passes through -2, 1 with a slope of -6. Pause the video. Try this one. Get back with me. Did you remember what it was before you started? It's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, so we go y minus 1 equals m, which is -6, times x minus a minus 2. And then we simplify it so that it doesn't have multiple signs there. Y minus 1 equals -6 times x plus 2. Did you get that? I hope that you did. Now graph y minus 2 equals -2 times x plus 4. Whenever you graph, you need a point to start with, and then you need the slope. Well, we've got the slope right here, -2. Now we need a point. The point has an x and a y coordinate. So we need an x and a y. Remember, the point slope form is y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. So when we're looking at this, this is going to be minus x. So this is x minus something up here, okay? So what would you have to put right here so that it would say plus 4? Yeah, you would have to put a -4, because x minus a minus 4 gives you x plus 4. So our coordinate there is a -4. So -4. And over here it's y minus, and what would I put here so that it ends up being -2? I would put a positive 2. So the point that I'm going to be starting with is -4, 2. So I come over here and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and I put a point. Then I go, it's -2 is your slope. That can be 2 over -1, or it can be -2 over 1. Doesn't matter where you put the negative sign, okay? It's just one negative sign in in the slope though. So let's go with this one. So we're going to go up 2 and left 1. Up 2 and left 1. And then we'll draw our line. And you've graphed y minus 2 equals negative 2 times x plus 4. Guess what? Your turn. Pause the video. Do this one and then come back and let's see how you did. Alright, so we start out with y, we start out with y minus equals slope times x minus. And we need a point, x and a y. We know the slope is m, which is in front of the parentheses here. What's in front of the parentheses here? That's a negative what? Yes, whenever there's no number there, it's an understood 1. So the slope is negative 1. What do I have to put here so that this is a positive 2? X minus what gives you a positive 2? Right, negative 2. So we put negative 2 for x. Over here, what do you have to put here so that it's a positive 3? Correct. A negative 3. So our point that we will start out with is negative 2, negative 3. So we come over here and we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then our slope is negative 1, so that can be negative 1 over 1, or it can be 1 over negative 1, whichever one you choose. Let's do this one this time. So we'll go down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1, and down 1, right 1. And we come over here and we get our line. And you've done your graphing. Did you get that? I hope that you got exactly the same thing that I did. Okay, write y plus 3 equals negative x plus 2 in slope-intercept form. Now we're going to be going between the different forms, or among the different forms. So we've got y plus, I'm going to rewrite it here, y plus 3 equals negative x plus 2. We multiply it out. Y plus 3 equals negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So we want the y to be over here by itself. So let's go minus 3. Draw our line. Minus 3. And that gives us y equals negative x minus 5. And we've got it in slope-intercept form because now we've got the y, we've got the m, right here, the negative what? Right, negative 1. We've got the x, and we've got the b. So we've got it in slope-intercept form. Write y minus 7 equals 5 times x plus 4 in slope-intercept form. Oh, your turn. Pause the video. So we go y minus 7 equals 5 times x plus 4. We go y minus 7 equals 5 times x plus 5 times 4. We want the y to be by itself, so we add 7 to both sides. And that gives us y equals 5x plus 27. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Now we're going to be writing this in standard form. Remember, standard form is ax plus by equals c. So let's work this out. We've got y minus 1 equals negative 2/3 times x minus 5. Y minus 1 equals negative 2/3 x. Negative times negative gives you positive. 5 times 2 gives you 10/3. Remember, we want the we want the x and the y to be on the same side, and the number or the constant to be on the other side. So let's move the 1. Plus 1 plus 1. That gives us y equals negative 2/3 x plus, this is 3/3, 1 is 3/3, so 10 and 3 makes 13/3. Now we want the x to be over here on this side, so we add 2/3 x plus 2/3 x, and that gives us 2/3 x plus y equals 13/3. And we've got ax plus by equals c, except you can't have a fraction in front of the as a coefficient for the x or the y. So what we have to do is we have to multiply everything by 3 to get rid of this, the denominator here. So we multiply everything by 3. This times 3, this times 3, and this times 3. So when we do that, we're left with 2x plus 3y equals, this goes away, we're left with 13. So now we're in standard form. 2x plus 3y equals 13. Guess what? It's your turn. Write y minus 1 equals 7 times x plus 5 in standard form. Remember, it's ax plus by equals c. Pause the video and try this one. So we've got y minus 1 equals 7 times x plus 5. Y minus 1 equals 7x plus 35. Plus 1 on both sides. That gives you y equals 7x plus 36 minus 7x on both sides, because we want the x and the y to be on the same side. So that gives us negative 7x plus y equals 36. Standard form. No, it's not actually, because you can't have a negative for the coefficient of the a. All these pesky little rules. So what we do is we multiply everything by negative 1. And that will get rid of that negative sign in front of the x there. So that gives us 7x minus y equals negative 36. And now we're in standard form. Write an equation in standard form for the line described. It goes through negative 2, 3, and 9, negative 4. Let's get a different color, so go with this black up here. So the first, you can't just look at this and write it as ax plus by equals c. But what we can do is we have two options here. We can either go for putting it first into slope-intercept form, or we can put it in point-slope form, and then go from there. Okay, so let's choose point-slope form. So what we have to do first is find the slope. So we go 0.1 and 0.2. Remember, it's slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that gives us our slope is equal to negative 4 minus 3 over 9 minus a minus 2, which gives us negative 7 over 11. So our slope is negative 7 over 11. So we write y minus 3 is equal to slope negative 7/11 times x minus a minus 2. So that gives us y minus 3 equals negative 7/11 times x plus 2. We multiply this out with a distributive property, and we get y minus 3 equals negative 7/11 x plus 2 times 7, negative 14 over 11. Now to get the 3 away from this side, we add 3, draw a line, add 3, And we've got 3 will be 33 elevenths. So we've got 33 elevenths and 14 elevenths. That gives us 19 elevenths. And a minus 7 elevenths x. And we've got y over here. Now we want the x's to be on the other side. So we go plus 7 elevenths x and plus 7 elevenths x. That gives us 7 elevenths x plus y equals 19 elevenths. And what did we find out earlier? We cannot have a fraction as a coefficient for the ax and by. Okay, so we multiply everything by 11. These cross out. We're left with 7x plus 11y equals 19. And we put that in standard form. As I said earlier, you could do it with point slope form like we just got through doing, or you can do it with slope-intercept form. Now we're going to do it with slope-intercept form. You remember we found out that the slope was negative 7 elevenths. So now we're going to be putting it in y equals mx plus b form first, and then we're going to be transferring it to standard form ax plus by equals c. So here we go. We've got y equals mx plus b. 3 is the y coordinate, so we go 3 is equal to m, which is negative 7 elevenths, times x, which is negative 2, plus b. Draw a line. 3 is equal to negative times negative gives you positive 14 elevenths plus b. We go minus 14 over 11, minus 14 over 11, and we get b is equal to 19 over 11. So that's our y-intercept. So now we can come back up here, and we can go y is equal to, slope is negative 7 elevenths, x plus b, which is 19 elevenths. Now we know we can't have denominators, fractions, so let's go ahead and multiply everything by 11. So we multiply everything in the equation by 11. And that gives us 11y is equal to negative 7x plus 19. We get the x over here on this side, plus 7x, plus 7x, and we end up with 7x plus 11y equals 19, which is the same thing we ended up with the time before when we did it the other way. So whichever one you think is the easier way, that's the way that you should do it.